Good morning. Welcome. Welcome to the Journey of Mela Lifestyle. We are in the tail end of our week and our series. If you're new and you're just joining, my name is Camila Tibbetts. This is the Journey of Mela Lifestyle, morning moments, madness, and meditations. And my name is Camila Tibbetts. I'm a serial entrepreneur. The Journey of Mela Lifestyle started. I've had brands in the past that I've founded and scaled, and this is a new brand for me, Mela Lifestyle. And it originally started with me sharing just the madness of launching something new, the madness of launching Mela Lifestyle website. And Mela Lifestyle is a lifestyle community where not only do I curate products in the areas of wellness, beauty, style, home, but it's also a place where we all can fully be known as we come together. So we do blog posts, we do recipes, we have wisdom, we feature founders, like a really great brands as well. It's just a platform for all things good, right? So Moments, Madness, and Meditations originally started with me just sharing what that was like, because a lot of times we see founders on these big moments and there's a lot that happens in the day-to-day. And this is me showing up for you, showing up together and just walking through the day-to-day of what's going on with me. I give 2 meditations and we just continue on. And so this week, in terms of Moments in Madness, so do you ever, I think we always have to give sometimes we can be hard on ourselves, like how we speak to ourselves is not how we would speak to a friend or a colleague. And yesterday was one of those, do you have one of those days where it was like, it's a wrap, like not everything you wanted to get accomplished just didn't get accomplished and the day just gets away from you? So by 3 o'clock, I was just like, you know what, this day's a wrap, nothing's gonna get done. And that was okay. You know, I went to dinner and I had a great dinner, but in terms of my productivity with my work day and the things I wanted to accomplish, all the things didn't happen and all the things didn't get checked off on the to-do list, and that's okay. And so, you know, the great thing is that we can start anew, right? Like we can start anew every morning and every day. So today was a great day. I worked out. Like I mentioned yesterday, all of the Mela Lifestyle, all our meditations are on YouTube, and now we're in process of putting all of the audio of the meditations on a podcast. And the podcast is Tableside with Camila. So I'm in communication with our team to kind of get those up and get those for you, because everyone's not going to be able to sit down and watch a live or sit down and watch YouTube. So this is just, I really have a heart to really meet everyone where they are. I want to meet you where you are. So some people are podcast people, some are YouTube, what have you. So that's kind of where we're at today. I'm a little buttoned up. Can you guys tell? Like I have. And by the way, like I was going through the YouTube videos, and can you guys tell me like when I'm revealing more than just like some wisdom and meditations? I like some of the videos I was like leaning in. I was like, ew. But you know what? Whatever, right? We don't shame each other. It is what it is. You know, and this is our series of the expression. And so what we've really been going through this week is how to draw closer, how to live out the fullest expression of who you are and who you're called to be, and how to rise above it all, and what that all looks like. So I always want to honor time, because we're all very busy, so busy. So I always want to honor your time. So let's just go into our first expression, our first meditation. And our first meditation is where will you land? And what do I mean by that? I was talking with someone, and we were having this conversation, and I said, like, you know what, you want to be a soft landing place, right? And so you can think about that, like if you're in a relationship, you have a partner, you know, when they come home, you want to be a soft place for them to land, right? No one wants to come home to aggression or criticism or hostility, right? Especially in these times. So it's like, you want to be that soft place to land for others, but you also want to look at like, where do you want to land at the end of this year? And that's really what we're looking at in our meditation this morning. So it's like, where do you want to land at the end of 2020? Like what does that look like for you? And what is your landing place? So, you know, I'm a big proponent of our home being reflective of who we are. That's what we're doing at Mela Lifestyle. And so our home, number one, is our landing place. And that, you know, how we live in our home is we can be fully expressed in who we are and feel safe in our home, and then go out into the world and war and communicate and engage, and then come home and still feel that safety. So that's my philosophy philosophy in terms of the home, but I also want you to think about it in terms of where will you land at the end of 2020. And when I think of landing, I think of feeling safe, right? And so I want to suggest to you, or to meditate today throughout your day, is like, where is that landing place for you where you feel safe? You know, where is that landing place, or who is that landing place for you where you feel heard? You know, what is that landing place for you where you feel completely known, right? And because so that's what we're doing here in our community. We're creating an environment, whether it be through the platform of social media, through podcasts, through video, of where we're allowing people and saying, hey, you can be completely known in this space. And so what does that look like for you ending 2020, right? Like where will I land in 2020? And it may be physically, like some of you may be in transition. You're like, I don't really know, I'm in transition, I'm moving, you know, whatever that looks like. But I also want you to think about what it looks like spiritually, or what it looks like emotionally. Like, how do I want to land in 2020? Emotionally, where do I want to be in 2020 so that I can launch into 2021? And so that's our first meditation this morning, right? Where will you land? Like, what will be that imprint? What will be your safe place, right? And I want you to think about that when I say safe place, I'm not talking about always a structure. I'm saying it could be, we talk about your secret place, right? It could be that place that you go inside yourself. It could be when you're exercising. It could be when you're in nature. You know, I come from a beach community I live in New York now, but I come from a beach community, and for some people it's, you know, when they're surfing, or for my daughter it's like when she's walking on the beach in Torrey Pines. So I want you to think about, if you haven't already created that in this season, I want you to think about where is your safe place, and where will you end and land in 2020, and how can you be that soft landing place, not only for yourself but for others. So that's our first meditation today. Where will you land? Our second meditation I thought about when I was up this morning. You know, I live in New York City, there's a lot of buildings, but there was a time, like I mentioned, I live in San Diego, I love nature, I love music, like my safe place is always in nature and with music. Like, you put me in nature, on a hike, on, you know, amongst trees and mountains, and you give me a good playlist, like I'm done. Like I could spend hours there. So I was thinking about this morning as I was having my coffee, just really looking at the buildings and everything that's around me here in New York, is there was a song that I used to listen to called, and one of the phrases in the song said, like the dew in the morning. So I used to live in a community where there was a beautiful lake, right? And I would listen to the song all the time, but I'm a very visual person. Like, I have to see a reflection of it or example of it for it to really hit me. I'm also like, I realize I'm a FaceTime bomber. Like, now I won't pick up the phone and call you. I'll pick up the phone and FaceTime you. Like, I have to see you. And so one day I was listening to this song, like the dew in the morning, and I happened to be on a walk on this lake. And so it was super early, like it was like 6 o'clock in the morning. And what it was like, there was the lake, and then there was like a mist and a fog over the lake. And the lyrics to the song said, like the dew in the morning, please rest upon my heart, right? And like that still gets me today. Like, yes, I'm in New York, and I'm amongst buildings, and it's concrete, and it's all the things, but because I've nurtured that secret place, and because I know where to go, I can really be in any environment and draw that peace and that, like, I can find that landing place for myself in any environment that I'm in. And that takes time. Like, it's not something that for you may just happen this morning with this meditation, but I want you to think about our second meditation is like the dew in the morning. You know, and I want you to think about where you will find rest, right? Like the dew in the morning, won't you rest upon my heart? I want you to think about, instead of looking at the pressure that you have and that intensity that you have, that kind of you always feel like is on your back, like you just feel, you know, we all hold pressure and anxiety in different areas, whether it's like in our gut or in our back, but you know, you can feel like, oh, I feel like everything's on my back, or your shoulders are slouching. But I also want you to view it through a different lens today and think about how will, like the dew in the morning, what will rest upon your heart ending 2020. And we're always going to go back to ending 2020 and how this end will year, because I really want us to do do the heavy lifting, or to do the heavy work, or to really like look at some things. Not that we have to fix it today, but so that we can go into this new year like with the level of promise and with a level of freedom, right? And so think about like what's going to rest upon your heart, like what you will take with you. Yesterday we talked about closing doors, right? Yesterday we talked about having those conversations, right? And so this morning in our meditation, I really want to talk about the second meditation is like the dew in the morning, won't you rest upon my heart? And what's going to rest upon your heart today, right? And what have you learned of the good when you filter all the swirling that happened this year? Like what were some things that filtered out that were promises, that were reflections, that were wisdom, that were growth? And like how will those things that I mentioned, how will they rest upon your heart going into the new year? And how will you use that to pour out into others and to kind of launch you into what you're called to do? Because this is what we're, this is not just about ending the year. This is about the tribe and the community that we're building, and me reminding gently, it's like gently, me reminding you who you are, and I think a lot of times we have people that know us in different, like people that know us as a wife or as a mom or as an executive or as a student or as a personal trainer or as a yoga instructor, and we're all these things to all these people. But when we come together with these meditations, it's a moment that even if I don't know you, I want to remind you of who you are. And when I remind you of who you are, even through this medium, there's something that happens in you when you go back to that landing place, where you go back to that place of rest, where you remember who you are too, right? You're like, yeah, I really liked when I go on walks in nature, or yeah, like I really like it when I can communicate my needs and use my voice. Like when I walk away, I feel empowered by that. And so that's what we're really looking at, right? Like remember who you are. Remember the triumphs that you've had. Remember the moments that you've grown. Remember, how you've advocated and let yourself feel safe in these moments. So our two meditations again today are, where will you land? Like what will be your safe landing place that you're going to end the year with, and also like the dew in the morning, what will rest on your heart? So again, thank you for joining me on the Journey to Mela Lifestyle. As I mentioned, you can always find all the meditations on YouTube right now. They're always on Instagram, IGTV, and it's exciting. Like we're putting them all on a podcast. So all the feedback has been great. I get some of you are going to be detoxing from social media, but like if we can still find a way to come together and keep our community strong, even though it doesn't have to look like in a building or the way we want it, we can still have intimacy and connection and remind each other who we are and the best parts of ourselves. So thank you for joining me on the Journey to Mela Lifestyle, and remember, together we're going to get stronger, we're going to get wiser, and we're going to do better. Ciao for now. Bye.